What's up, guys? We are back with a little bit of a quicker video, well, probably, and something a little bit different. This is entirely going to be about a couple of custom pieces for what is likely going to be my favorite Four Horsemen Legions figure of 2024, the Ninian Infantry. Of course, this was the surprise drop at Legions Con this year, and I got a couple of pieces for these figures from Mark Calvo. He is ActionFigure.ShowRoom on Instagram, and then you can find him at his website, CalvoCustomCreations.com. I'll put links down below because you're likely going to want to reach out to him once you're done seeing this stuff. But he has created and painted up for me a couple of neck extensions for our Mythic Snake Man to, I mean, let's be honest, this has big Ratlore vibes. If you're a Motu fan, you know who I'm talking about. So the big rattlesnake guy with the extending neck. And this is very much kind of that idea, but for a Mythic Legions figure for our Snake Man. And this is just really cool. I didn't know I needed this until he sent me pictures of what he was working on, and then it was basically, you know, how fast can I get these? How can I get them in my hands? So he's got a couple of different pieces here that I wanted to kind of showcase and give you an idea of what you can do to, you know, zhuzh up your Ninian. So the first one is this single, that's important, single neck extension piece. And I'm going to take it off real quick just to show you what it is. So it's exactly what it sounds like. It's just a neck. So it's kind of it's about as long as the figure's torso, and the paint match on this is absolutely exquisite. I cannot stress enough how good he is at paint match, and he has given me, an idea of the best kind of blue to use, because one thing I'll stop and talk about here, this last rung of scales on the Ninian is not painted on the figure by default. So if you were going to paint this up in the same color scheme, you'll want to make this, blue probably to continue the blue on up from the bottom. So, I'll put it right here, I guess, the color match that he suggested folks use if you want to paint that up. But you've got this neck piece, and I mean, it just pops right on. It couldn't be any easier, pops right on, fits really well. And quite honestly, if you didn't know it was a custom piece, you probably wouldn't think that it was something that didn't come with the figure by default. It very much looks like it belongs on this figure, sized really well. Sculpt is terrific, and again, the paintwork is just through the roof. He does such great work on literally anything I've ever seen him do. He is so good. And then you can pop one of the heads on, and you've got a more snake-like Snake Man. He's not just a reptilian, scaly guy with a tail. Now he has a more, we'll say, traditional snake style of neck, if snakes had necks, I suppose. But what's really cool is that he has a couple of options, and this is the second one. So this is easily my favorite of the two, just because of how wacky it is. And let's be honest, this is wacky stuff. Snake neck extensions and two-headed snake men. I live for this kind of stuff. It's weird, it's different, and this is just awesome. So the same idea, it's a separate neck piece, it's a single piece that bridges into two parts. And you've got one neck that goes to the left, one that goes to the right, and you can utilize both heads that come with this figure, which is something that, in particular, I really like, because I've said this a million times. I hate having to store stuff. I hate losing parts or being it difficult to find a piece if I've stored it away. This gives me access to both heads all at once on the same figure. So that's kind of cool just at its own face value. But he did such a great job with this. The sculpt on this is also terrific. Paint is really well done as well. It's very much something that looks like it belongs on the figure. This also showcases the third part that he made, because like I mentioned, let's bring back the first one. So this upper rung of scales, as I've said, is not painted any color. So it's, that sort of sandy color on the scales there. He made this sort of Mesoamerican sort of neck guard brace kind of piece. So you put that around it, and if you don't want to actually have to paint your figure, because not everybody's a painter, you can put that on it, and it will hide that. So it looks like it goes with the armor. It very much works color match wise. It's very similar to the belt buckle piece. So that color kind of flows down there also. But really, it's just another adornment. It's another thing you can put on the figure. And I think it makes him look really cool. It makes him look more like a little bit more regal, maybe a little bit more of a leader type of figure. This guy can be your commander or something like that if you've got a bunch of these guys. But for me, just the idea of being able to extend the neck, make it look a little bit more like a snake, and then with this one in particular, showcase both heads at the same time. I mean, it transforms the figure for me. It makes him into something even cooler. Not that the figure's not great to begin with. It's an awesome figure, but this is just something a little bit different, a little bit crazy, makes it look a little bit more like a snake, right? But again, he did such a terrific job here. The sculpt on it is amazing. The paintwork is phenomenal. and really just being able to sort of add this little bit of flair to your figure or make him a little bit more unique is worth the price of admission. So again, this is all stuff from Calvo Custom Creations, ActionFigure.ShowRoom on Instagram. He does painted stuff, so obviously this is fully painted. He does painted stuff to match other figures. So if you wanted to paint one that was like Oleg Thygar, for example, he could probably do that. Or if you want one unpainted to do it yourself, he also offers unpainted stuff. But I can't stress enough how good his paint work is, that if you're not a painter, this is a great opportunity to be able to get something like this from, I mean, one of the best in the game, really. He's easily one of my go-to guys when it comes to anything Legion's custom work. So this is, again, the two-headed neck extension with the sort of Mesoamerican collar, and this is the single neck extension for your Legion's Ninian Infantry figure. So again, I'll put all the links and everything down below so you can reach out to him on Instagram and send him a message, or if you want to just go straight to his website and start buying, you can do that too. But big thanks to Mark Calvo for sending this stuff over, and reach out to him if you want to get any of this kind of stuff. And that's it, guys. Yeah. Excellent new custom additions for your Ninian Infantry. Give him a big, long, snaky neck, or add a second head to your figure. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you next time.